camp management to decide what the punishment should be. Well, I'm sorry, he said, this prisoner is leaving this camp. So they took me out of there. But I really wasn't even know that because all this was told to me. I was still half unconscious. So I was waking up in a moving boxcars. One of the guys said, "Boy, aren't you lucky?" I said, "What do you mean I'm lucky? I'm dead." "Oh, you're not dead, you fool." "You're alive as well." I mean, so tell me what happened. So he told me what happened. And that's how I found out how I came that I was alive when they tried to help me. But the rope was on my neck. I remember that quite well. And after that, I didn't remember anything. So now they were taking us to another camp in Dresden, Germany. And we were there for several weeks and did some kind of railroad work. And after that, we started on the march again and ended up in a place called Leitnetz. Leitnetz was a camp now called Litomerice, and it's just about 8 or 10 miles from Terezin. And Terezin's name was Theresienstadt. And they asked me if I was Jewish. I said, yes. Okay, you go to Terezin. What's going to be there? Don't worry, you just go to Terezin. So a few other what we told were Jewish also taken to Terezin with me. So we went to Terezin. And Terezin was Theresienstadt, which was a camp of no such thing in the whole system. It wasn't really a camp, it was a ghetto. And men shaved, men wasn't shaved, and women had their long hair, their hair wasn't cut short or shaved, and it looked like normal people. And I said, what is this place? Somebody explained to me, this is a camp to show the world and the International Red Cross that the stories about death camps are really a myth, non-existent. When people from the International Red Cross inquiring the Nazis about death camps, they take them to Theresienstadt, at Terezin, to find out what is going on. And they find that stories like they have heard before, that people starve and they walk with skeleton, is really not. So I said, what about me? Don't you think I'm a walking skeleton? He said, yes, you are. And that's why we hope that we'll be able to save you, to show the Red Cross what you look like after being in a camp so long time. And I was in that camp for a few days, and then I developed very high temperature in Fahrenheit. It had to be about 112 or more. Regular centigrade was 40, 42, and was even 45. It was very high. So they found out that I developed the spotted fever. So they took me immediately to a hospital which was near in this camp. And I was treated as well as I could, but we were still under Nazi occupation. And 2 days later, somehow everything stopped, and we didn't know what's happening. And then we told that we no longer under Nazi ruling. The American army took over. And the American army took over and held it for 6 hours. And after that, they turned it over to the Soviet army according to the Alta Agreement. And while we were under the American army's jurisdiction, they were feeding us and give us all kind of food. And when the Russian came, they stopped it. And that's probably saved many of us lives, because all of those people who get all this food from the American soldiers, they just couldn't take it and died. Of course, Americans didn't know that at that time, the reaction was going to take. And the Soviets didn't do it either because they didn't underfed us because they wanted to save our lives. They underfed us because they didn't have it. Simple as that. And that's probably saved my life. And of course, like I said, I developed a spotted fever, and I had a very hard time, and I almost died of that. But finally I made it, and I was taken out and stayed in that camp in Terezin for another 2 or 3 weeks, and then we were taken to another camp just a short while, and then we were told that we want to be able to go home where we are from. So I get transported to Budapest. I was very weak, but somehow or the other I made it. And I remembered the address of my mother's 2 sisters who lived in Budapest, and I was taking a chance to take a cab. I had some money they gave us, and I took a cab to that place. And lo and behold, my mother's 2 sisters were there. And when they saw me, they just all started crying that I couldn't stop him. I said, "Stop it, I'm here. What are you crying about?" "Oh, don't ask, don't ask." I said, "Have you heard from my mother and 2 sisters?" And they started crying even more. So I had no idea what was happening, and then one of them said that, "You know, there was an American officer of the American military mission that looked for you, came here to look for you, and told us to let him know when you arrived, because the head of the American military mission, General Key, wants to see you." I said, "Why?" I said, "We don't know." So we called the American military mission and talked to this man. We called this man. His name was Captain Nurley, and he wanted to speak to me. He spoke Hungarian for some reason or the other. And he says, "What do you want me, sir?" I said, "I want you to stay there. Don't go anywhere. You stay there." I said, "Why?" "Don't ask questions. You stay there." I didn't understand what was going on. He said, "I'm going to come get you." "Get me for what reason?" "We're going to see the general." "Who is the general?" I said. "Never mind, you'll meet him." And that was it. He hung up. And 2 hours later, he comes in and said, "Come on. Where are you taking me?" "You're going to see the general." I said, "I don't know any general." "But he knows you." I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know any general. So he took me to the headquarters of the American military.